Just another quick video. I am the Kave Man, and this is Kave Man Classics. And today, what I'm doing is I have this copper water pipe, and I'm repurposing it. I'm going to turn it into maybe a ring, or maybe a necklace. We're gonna find out. But I figured I'd start off here and let you see what I'm using to cut it. I have my Makita with a 4-inch cutting disc on it, and let's get started. That's all I'm doing. Cut that one off. I already cut off a couple of others, and this is what we're going to be working with today. Recycle, repurpose, reuse. There's no reason to pollute the ground with things that you can make stuff out of. So let's see what I come up with today using this recycled copper water pipe. So I think first I'm going to start off with a small one. You see it needs a lot of work on just cleaning up the edges. I'm going to straighten it out a little. Maybe pound it out. I don't know. But first I got to clean up all the edges here because there's a lot of little sharp edges and need to get it cleaned up before I can see what it's going to look like or what it's going to become after that. We'll let it decide. I know that sounds strange, but nature is a interesting thing, and you just kind of have to let things happen. You may have an idea in your head, but the metal might have a different idea, and you got to change it. And so let's clean it up first, and we'll go from there. So right now I'm just cleaning up the edges using my flat file, just working my way around it. And while I sit here and do this, I'm trying to think of ideas of what I'm going to do with this once I get it all cleaned up and can actually start doing some work on it. Yeah, I have a couple of ideas, but making them reality, well, that's a whole different thing. So I'm just, like I said, just working my way around. I cut it so that it could be expandable. So it's like a one size fits all maybe for a guy. I can always cut out a little section and make it smaller. But we'll have to, like I said, right now I'm just looking at it going, okay, what can I do with it? The first thing I got to do is clean it all up. I wanted to just show you that process real quick. So I got it all cleaned up. Now I can see what I'm working with here. I want to round these edges on both sides. Need to round these. I might go a slight angle on this one and a slight angle, and then they could slide side by side. And then I was looking at these little scraps of silver that I have here. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, they don't look like much. But I think that what they'll do is work really interesting. You can see that without it falling off as mountains on this ring. Maybe I'll put a couple of them in. That one might be a little too big. Or maybe I'll put in a couple of small ones with one big one in the center, small ones off to the side. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my scrap silver here. This little sliver that I have here, I'm thinking about making a moon, like a crescent moon. Have that on here, maybe. I don't know. Just the ideas, but the first thing I got to do is round off the edges. I got to get all the heavy work done to the ring before I start putting the small stuff on it. But I got these out just so I could look at them and get ideas by looking at them and see where we'll go from there. But right now, I'm going to go and round off these edges, and I'm going to use my flat file and just sit there and file so I can round those off. Then I'll take some 220 sandpaper, sand them down, and then take the 420 and smooth them out, get rid of all the file marks. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll be back when I get that done. So now that I got the edges all cleaned up and smooth, I'm looking at putting this piece of silver here. I just have it sitting here right now. Had to round it off. I was just trying to place it. I'm thinking that's pretty decent there. So I have my little piece of solder on there. I'm going to take my little mountain here. Trying to line it up with the opening of the ring on the bottom. That looks pretty good there. Now I will attempt to mount it. We'll see what happens. This may not work. Oh, see, fell right off. Question is, did the solder stick to it? The solder did stick to it, so put it back on here like that. Take my little pair of pliers, hold on to it while I heat it. Let that cool for a minute. And we'll see if it's stuck. So it did stick. So now I'm going to hit it with the wire brush on the little Dremel tool and polish it up and see what that looks like. Shines up nice. Let's see here. Take it out of the blocks. Oh yeah, see? That looks pretty good. So I got this ring done. I just went with the one sterling silver mountain on it. It's a first time try. I also just clear coated it so that your skin won't turn green from wearing it. But just a little copper ring with a sterling silver mountain. Simple. Not bad for a first try. So until the next one.